Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Wednesday evening to you all. Hope you guys are doing well out there and staying safe and staying warm with such a cold air mass that's in place. Will continue to reinforce itself over the next day or so. And it's going to be a pretty cold night for a lot of folks out there. But really in this video, pretty cut and dry information, as you can tell. Not a lot of panels pulled up. We're going to talk about this big time lake effect snow event that's going to be cranking up. You got lake effect snow warnings, winter storm warnings up. So we're just going to give you some, like I said, cut and dry information to get you going and some of the latest and greatest information talking about how much snow is possible. Listen, the National Weather Service is going all in. In fact, the latest total snow accumulation for Buffalo from the National Weather Service, the experts, is over 40 inches of snow for the entire duration of this event. It's going to crank up for you guys. So they're saying Buffalo is going to be the epicenter. So we'll talk about that a little bit here. If you guys have not subscribed, certainly consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Sorry I'm coming at you a little bit late. It just seems like there isn't enough time in the evenings. I'll be honest. I've been trying to get my Christmas lights up. I've been working on it this evening. This one thing that I was trying to put up is what absolutely kicked my butt. I'm not great with putting stuff together. I tend to analyze the instructions for way too long. I'm certainly not one of them type of dudes that can just slap something together and not even look at the instructions. That is definitely not me. So definitely consider that a gift if you are like that. But anyways, so let's get rolling here. If you guys got anything I can pray about, pray over, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it. Gives others an opportunity to do so too. Let's get rolling here. So National Weather Service out of Chicago, the radar. First off, we'll briefly mention this. This band will continue to amplify overnight southeast Michigan, a couple counties, and far southwest Michigan is what I meant to say, and then far northern Indiana will continue to get blasted by this narrow lake effect snow band. This will probably, like I said, get a little bit stronger tonight and probably broaden somewhat. So we'll continue to watch this. Snow being reported in and around the Buffalo area. Let's take a look at what's going, the Cleveland area. I'm getting my cities and directionals all mixed up tonight. Let's take a look at what's going on in the Buffalo area. This is not cranked up for you guys yet, but I can tell you there's already an intense band south of Buffalo. Erie's getting a little bit of it, but really the area between Buffalo and Erie already cranking up with some intense lake effect snow. I'm sure some folks in these areas have already picked up half a foot of snow. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And there will be a band north of Syracuse that will pop off too. We'll talk about that also. But this is beginning right now. But for Buffalo, it hasn't really began yet. It's just south of you guys. And this band will pivot back and forth. Really in this video, really just going to talk about accumulations, guys. I really am. So National Weather Service out of Buffalo, guys. I mean, look at this. 36 to 48 inches of snow predicted. That is 3 to 4 feet of snow predicted for Buffalo for the entire duration of this event. This is serious, guys. I mean, even for you hardy folks up here who are really just used to this lake effect snow bands, this is going to be a crippling event, an event that's really going to cause a gridlock situation. Even for the people who've been driving in snow all their lives, I'm sure it's going to be pretty tough to drive in 3 to 4 inch per hour snowfall rates, which is what will be falling at certain points in these bands. But it's going to be hard. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody squeezes out 5 feet of snow. I wouldn't be surprised at all. We'll see what happens. It seems like with these lake effect snows, a lot of times they overachieve. But north of Syracuse into Watertown, 2 feet to 2.5 feet of snow predicted. And just north of Watertown, even more, probably over 3 feet of snow. So this is the actual National Weather Service forecast, guys. This isn't just, the European or the GFS. We look at the NAM, and we're not going to go way far out, guys. We'll go 60 hours out, which is over 2 days, and really watch how this band continues. And as we get into the overnight hours, Buffalo being right here, Syracuse being right here, most of this band will stay south, but eventually it will start to tick north, especially tomorrow. And here it comes, really tomorrow evening. Intense band, not just a band of snow, but it will be quite intense. I'm talking the potential for thunder snow and just a very intense band of snow. Like I said, 2 to 4 inch per hour rates. I mean, it's hard enough to get 2 inches of snow here in Columbia, South Carolina, let alone in an hour. So you're certainly going to be seeing it. But look how narrow the band is. You're thinking we're hooping and hollering about this major winter storm, but it doesn't look that significant. Well, it is very significant for a very small area. I'm talking about a 30 to 40 mile area. So it's substantial, especially for a bigger city like Buffalo, not a huge city, but certainly a more higher populated area in western New York State. This is going to be a big deal. I can tell you the NAM favors more of south of Buffalo. Now the band will pivot back into Buffalo. It'll just pivot back and forth. I honestly think a jackpot area will be just south of Buffalo. Not over Buffalo, but just south of Buffalo. But I might be wrong. I'm not an expert, but we'll see how it unfolds. But the actual National Weather Service for the entire DERB, this is through basically Saturday evening. Just outside of Buffalo, 42 inches of snow we're talking about. And just the entire southeast coastline of Lake Erie, 1 foot to 2 foot to 3 foot of snow. It just depends on where you are, guys. It really does. So this is going to hammer this area, guys. I can't just reiterate that enough. You go up here to Syracuse, how much snow can you see? Let's make sure I don't pass it. Here you go, Syracuse, Watertown up here. There's going to be an area kind of on the northern east coast of Lake Ontario, way up here in the northern country, that could likely get 2 to 3 feet of snow, maybe an isolated 3.5 foot. But Watertown and here, Syracuse right in here, Syracuse will likely get over or really close to 1 foot of snow. The forecast for Syracuse isn't in here because I think that's in the Binghamton National Weather Service area. But just in general, guys, man, a lot of snow. Syracuse, I'm sorry, right into here, my bad. So a big cutoff. If you're in the northern end of Syracuse, maybe several inches of snow. Southern end, barely an inch, potentially. You look at the GFS forecast at the same time period, and we'll take this through, Sunday evening, a lot of snow. We go back to Buffalo, and this is what it shows. Not quite as much. The National Weather Service is very bullish on this, while the GFS shows maybe 1 to 2 feet of snow. The European for the same time frame, and this is really annoying me, the way it keeps jumping to the 18Z. The European model through Sunday evening, it really likes areas just south of Buffalo. So it's pretty wild. The National Weather Service in Buffalo, they're the National Weather Service in Buffalo, so they know these patterns from these lake effect snow events. So they're going much higher. I'm talking about double the amount that some of these models are showing. It's pretty wild to see here. But we'll certainly watch the National Blend of All Models. Great thing to look at. I feel like this is a great forecast. It really is. You got this little isolated area just south of Buffalo sitting at 2.5 feet of snow. But National Weather Service, like I said for the 400th time, going much higher. Erie, which has already picked up some snow, going for over 1 foot of snow from the Blend of All Models. Regardless, guys, this is the Winter Storm Severity Index. It hadn't been out too long, a couple years. But either way, Buffalo in the highest impact region right here, extreme impacts. So it's going to cripple the city for several days. I don't know if you guys worked through this. I know they're talking about a football game in Buffalo. But I don't know if the football game is Saturday or Sunday. I don't know if we're getting into the time of the year where the NFL plays on Saturday, but I think it's going to be on Sunday. But the lake effect snow bands will still be kicking Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see what's on the ground and what's falling during that game. That will be a big snowball for sure. But big time impacts, guys. I mean, you go a little bit up the road to Watertown, just north of Watertown, extreme impacts, major impacts in the red. So big deal here. So that's all I got, guys. Cut and dry information. Sorry I didn't get quite as detailed as I've been getting, but just been a long night. Nothing bad's happened. Just trying to get this Christmas stuff up. Always like to get it up really early. So that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all, and have yourselves a great evening.